Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Bellini, and I'm standing in the bathroom that I'm currently demoing for a remodel. And the next step in the process is to remove this tile. And before I started, I kind of wanted to show you the tools I'm using and kind of show you some of the process of how I go about it. So we got a few tools here. I've got a pry bar and a chisel. I'll be using probably this most. Obviously a hammer and gloves and eye protection, because when you're breaking tile, you get sharp edges and things like that, so you don't want to get cut. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'll show a little bit of what I'm doing, and then I'll do a time lapse a little bit later. So we'll get started. Okay, so getting started here is a couple more things I thought of. Knee pads would not be a bad idea when you're on the ground like this, on hard concrete especially. Especially if you're like putting your knees into like little pieces of tile and stuff like that, it could really hurt your knees. So knee pads would be a good thing. If you don't have knee pads, you can get towels and then just put tape around the towels around your knees, and that should work just fine. Also earplugs or some kind of hearing protection. If you're hammering a lot of this stuff, if you're doing it for hours, if you're doing a large space, that can really take its toll on your ears. So you might consider that as well. So I'll go ahead and get started here. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, just kind of get the chisel under there and get started. There's some people you'll see, they might take a sledgehammer and just go at it and just start banging that stuff away. And that's, you know, I guess that's one way you could do it, but I want to try and do it without having like a million little pieces of tile everywhere. So I'm trying to carefully take up the largest pieces I can, so there's less mess, basically. So I'm going to do my best to do that here. So I got about 3/4 of that one. Now I'm not going to be getting up the mortar under here. I'll do that in a different video with a different tool, most likely. But this could probably work for it too. It would just take a long time. But anyways, we get going on the tile here. Also, I'm not going to be taking out the toilet right now. The toilet needs to go. I'll do that in a different video, but once that is out, and then I can get all the tile out around here, and then I can move on to the tub and all that. So, but right now I'm just going to basically focus on what I can get out now, and then just do the rest of the stuff later. So I think at this point, I'll go ahead and do a time lapse, because this is pretty self-explanatory. You just get the chisel under there and have at it. All right, so I finished up the tile down here. So the tile is all removed except for around the toilet there. I'm gonna remove the toilet later. I'm gonna get some help with that, but then I'll remove the rest of that tile back in there. But you know, it's all been removed, and I did it all using just the chisel and the hammer, and that's it. But the next step is to take some kind of a scraper. Like I get this scraper here. And I'll probably get another kind of scraper, maybe a power tool to help me kind of get all that mortar off. But that's the next step in this process. But yeah, that's about it. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.